Alright, what's up guys? So, as you can see, we changed the complete basement around. We got bars now down here. Here, we've had this since I've been born. There's Betsy. All the liquor and stuff, some pop. Got the poker table down here. And then I'm going to bring my bed down there. I'm going to actually be getting a new bed. I'm going to bring my TV down here. I'm going to basically set up so that I can put the projector right here, put it up against that wall, put the bed maybe right here, and then fold it up when I'm not using it. And I can sit here at the table, and if I want to write, film, I'm probably going to get a mini fridge or something like that. And basically, I don't have to leave down here unless I need to pee, do the dishes, clean upstairs, and stuff like that. And go on from there. But today's paranormal experience is something entirely different. It is a paranormal experience about the owner of the liquor store slash gas station. I told you guys about that, so you guys wanted to see that. I asked you guys on Twitter if you guys wanted to see the one experience that was by the old guy owned the liquor and gas station for 45 years, because he took it from his father when he was 25 and he started working there at 14, so he's 68 now. He'd be 69 in October, so he's been working there for 55 years. He plans on retiring either at the end of this year or at the start of next year. And then basically, Jamie, Carly, and Marie, and my significant other are all going to own it. So, yeah. I mean, the guy will still be there as like a percentage of the owner, I guess you could say. But, yeah. But, so this paranormal experience goes all the way back to the 70s. I didn't ask what specific year, but I asked her. But the paranormal experience of that, I had to take acid out. But yeah, it started getting cold again. It was basically in the 30s each of the last like 2 weeks, but now it's going to get back into the low 20s. It's going to start snowing again. I think it's going to snow between 4 and 9 inches. I think tomorrow, and then the next 3 days after that we're supposed to get around an inch a day, so total accumulations between 7 and a foot of snow, which for early March is pretty crazy, especially in recent years. I mean, back then when I was growing up, almost a foot of snow in March was commonplace. And even in April, getting a quarter of a foot of snow, between 3 to 6 inches of snow in April was pretty commonplace for the entire month. And then May, but here's the crazy thing, in recent years, the last 5 years, it's actually snowed more in April and in May than sometimes in February and March, which is, I mean, 2 years ago, we got snow in May. It was the very first week in May, and we got snow. Last year, it got warm up and I want to say it started getting warm in March, and then by May it was already getting into the 90s. So it stopped snowing basically in February. So it's kind of good that we're getting. It's not spring season yet, and to me, if it's winter season, it should be cold and snow. When spring, it should be rainy and in the high 30s, low 50s. And then obviously summer, it's hot weather, not that much rain. And then fall, it's colder temperatures, but just warm enough that it's great. But yeah, so this paranormal experience happened but he did say in the mid 70s, so I assume between 74 to 76 is when this happened. So his father still owned part of basically kind of like what he's doing. He wants to take it very, very easy now. He still wants to kind of own, so he's going to basically own the gas station part, which during the dead months, not that many people come by. More people come by to get liquor than gas, because it's close to everybody. So you walk down there, get some booze, and then you leave, because everything's in walking distance. When I went there, you would think a place that has alright, let's get Asta. Come on. Go on. There you go. I'll get you a bone when I come up. But you would think a place that has a stadium that seats sometimes well over 70,000. You think that maybe a giant city and all that stuff, but I mean, I live in a city with Notre Dame Stadium that seats between, even in its, when I was born, it was at least 60,000. Now it's 90, and this city only has 100,000 people. So a lot of people basically know. Well, that city's even smaller. There's actually more people that seat in the stadium than the city itself. I think the city has like 60,000 people, maybe even a little less. So everybody knows that, especially where the campus is and where the liquor and gas station and where they live are. Everybody knows everybody. So yeah, except during football months, and then it's just jam-packed. But yeah, so one night his father was on the liquor store side, he was on the gas station side, kind of like what I told you guys in the last episode, where at all times either Jamie, Carly Marie are either in the gas station or the liquor store. It's always 2 to 1. It's always 2 to 1. Carly and Marie are in the gas station, then Jamie's going to be in the liquor store. It's always going to be like that, and then vice versa. So he was on the gas station side, and he was locking up. It was around, usually especially that gas station and stuff, he locks up around, especially in the 70s, was around 2 a.m. he would leave. 2 a.m., sometimes 3 a.m. If it's a big weekend, like football weekend, it would be 3 a.m. Mostly 1, 2 a.m. If it's a really dead night, they just leave by midnight. And they usually open back shop by around 8, 9 o'clock, sometimes 10. Especially is when it's the dead months, it's dead months. Everybody that comes in, so yeah. So he was closing that side, and his father was on the one side, and he heard the door slam shut. Well, his father was like, hey. He's like, yeah, what? He's like, did you slam the door? And like, he's like, no. He's like, did you? He says, no. Now, there's never been a crime in this place. He has worked there for almost 55 years. So 55 years ago was, 1964? Yeah, 1964. So he's been working there for 64. And his father worked there before he started working there. Around 20 years, 25 years, before he even stopped working there. And his father worked there till the year 2000. So he was already there for 30 years. And he was born... oh, excuse me. He'd been working there, so he was born when his father was 20. So when he started working there, his father was 34. But he had already been working there for around... he had already been working there. He started working there when he was 15. And then his father, because basically his father, his grandfather, bought this place that wasn't a gas station and a liquor store. At one point it was just a gas station, but he turned into kind of both. And he did that when he bought it when he was 9 years old. When he was, I think he said 9 years, it may have been 6 years old. But when his father was 6 years old, his father bought this place, turned it into both a gas station and a liquor store. And he, at 15, so 9 years later, almost a decade later, he started working there. And by the time he was 25, 30, his father, who was already, when his father, when he was born, his father was already 35. So he had worked there by the time he was 30, by the time he started working there, at 14, his father was 34. He had already owned the place for 5 years. Because by the time he was 34, his father was already in his 70s. So, yeah. Confusing, but yeah. Just to get you to the story. So, they heard this loud slam. It was the door that separates the liquor store to the gas station. And so it slammed shut. They both run towards it, and they're like, weird. So nothing had happened there for 20 years, 25 years in there working. Nothing has happened there since. So that's, 70 years of working there that nothing has happened there. And they are like scratching their heads. And they both believed, I know it's the 70s, but they were open to paranormal. They're like, weird. So they check around the thing. While they're checking around, the lights start flickering on and off. They're like, weird. And this is the only experience where it happened to the both of them. It's happened to his father once, and then him, it's happened to about 3, 4, 5 times. This is the scariest one that he said happened. And he's like, this is really weird. So they check around the thing. They both switch places. So now the old man is in the liquor store. His father is in the gas station. Well, the thing slams shut and they both see it. It just slams shut as hard as you can slam a door. That's how hard it slammed. And so they run over. They're like, did you see that? And he's like, yeah. It's like, okay, this is starting to get creepy. Well, that wasn't the scariest thing that happened that night, because after some things didn't happen. They checked around. They're like, screw this, we're getting out of here. Well, they tried to get out the gas station door. The only way that you can get out is with the key. You get out, you lock the door. They do that, but they can't get out. For some reason, this door is not allowing them to get out. So they're basically stuck. Well, there is another way out, if not by the liquor store opening doors or these gas station doors. There is a back door that kind of goes out. Now stuff, and you only use that if you're basically taking the trash out. Well, they try and do that, it doesn't work. They go up to the thing, and then the lights start flickering on and off. The door this time opens, and this smart man, he says, hey, we hear you, but you're scaring the shit out of us. Can you please stop? And then everything just stops. Lights turn on, lights are left on, the door is open, and all the other doors are now openable. You can now open them. And ever since that day, him and his father have believed in the paranormal ever since. So, yeah. So, that is it. So next episode will be our normal episode that's happened to any of us. But I think what I'm going to do is next episode, I'm going to do a paranormal experience that happened to my significant other and I. What we were doing one night, and first it happened to her, and then me, and then it happened to the both of us. So that is next week. So make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.